see. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am Simone the Shepherdess, and I was taught that when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach. I'm here to preach, and y'all finna get this word. Why you looking like that? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome into Tuesday. I know a lot of people are just starting their work week today. Celebrated that holiday yesterday. Before we begin, I am going to bring us in with my sound bowl. The 4 sounds that you hear will represent me cleansing the energy of the 4 elements of water, fire, air, and earth. Let me put my arm around you. Now you gotta hit it and then hold that note. You gotta catch the note as soon as you hit it. Ashe. So today we are about to dive deep into some breath work. I am going to be doing my breath work today with, I keep forgetting to bring my rose essential oil here. I'm gonna do lotus. I'm gonna do lotus, I guess. I'll do lotus. And of course, I have my Motivate with me. So today we're just going to do a short breathing exercise. We are going to do 40 deep breaths, slowly inhaling through our nose, holding it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and releasing it from our mouths. As we are intentionally breathing, I want us to ensure that our abdomen is expanding and constricting with each inhale and exhale. So when you are breathing in and your lungs are filling up, your diaphragm or abdomen should be extending or protruding out. And when you are exhaling, releasing all of the air from your lungs, your stomach should be constricting because you are, or sucking it in. Because again, all of the air should be leaving your lungs. They are emptying. Yeah, so let us begin. You ready to do some breath work? Okay. Gonna breathe in. And let it out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. use the body. Did it work? What happened to the band-aids I put on your hand?
I took it off.
Why?
I want to.
Please stop.
You better not get no cookies.
Shade. Y'all give me a second. I don't like that beeping. Let me fix that. I need to move all these colors. This is ridiculous, Simone. Okay, so y'all know this week we have started covering the 5 love languages for children. And today we are diving deep into the first love language, which is physical touch. Y'all, transparent moment. Just reading the first 2 chapters of this book had me very emotional this morning because it brought a lot of things to light for me. I highlighted some things I wanted to share. Where do I want to start? Okay, so as we are embarking on this journey of trying to figure out what our children's love languages are and how we should be communicating them or speaking them to them, speaking the love languages to them. It says, yes, we need to provide our children shelter, food, and clothing, but we are also responsible to foster the mental and emotional growth and health for our children. Though the necessities are shelter, food, clothing, and shoes. That's a necessity. When you have kids, you know those kids are going to need those things. Where we tend to lack is in the emotional and the emotional and the mental aspects of raising our children, and it is mainly in part to us not being mentally and emotionally stable, and we tend to habitually parent the same way that our parents parented us. Greetings. What else? Oh, y'all got to get this whole paragraph. If your child is under age 4, speak all of the 5 love languages. Of course, we are just in the first one, so by the end of the week, you'll know all of them. Tender touch, supporting words, quality time, gifts, and acts of service all converge to meet your child's need for love. If that need is met and your child genuinely feels loved, it will be far easier for him or her to learn and respond in other areas. This love interfaces with all other needs a child has. Speak all 5 languages when your child is older too, for he or she needs all 5 to grow, even though he craves one more than the other. When you discover your child's love language, and thus he or she receives the love they need, don't assume everything in their life will be problem-free. There will be setbacks and misunderstandings, but your child, like a flower, will benefit from your love. When the water of love is given, your child will bloom and bless the world with beauty. Without that love, he or she will become a wilted flower begging for water. And it was just like a epiphany, y'all. And I wrote down a quote that came to me last night, and it was, I wrote it on a book. I didn't know what I was lacking until I started attracting. So what that means is I was very promiscuous. Y'all know I just celebrated 2 years of celibacy, but in my young adulthood, in my teenage years, very promiscuous. I had no sense of sacredness for my womb or for the essence of what I was and my femininity. So with reading this chapter, I deduced that the lack of physical touch that I did not receive from my dad, I went seeking it from boys or men trying to fill that void. What else? Physical touch is one of love's strongest voices. It shouts, I love you. The importance of touching children is not a modern notion. I wanted to give y'all in the Bible. I didn't even realize this was in the Bible. It says in the 1st century AD, the Hebrews living in Palestine brought their children to Jesus that he might touch them. Mark reported that the disciples of Jesus rebuked the parents, thinking their teacher was too busy with more important matters to spend time on children. But Jesus was indignant with his disciples. Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. And he took the children in his arms, placed his hands on them, and blessed them. And that just, what did it do? It highlighted to me the importance of physical touch. Because even in the Bible, we don't really get biblical on here, but y'all know in the Bible, Jesus, had his 12 disciples, and for his disciples to say, Jesus is too busy to, do something as simple as touch your children. But Jesus said, I will stop everything I'm doing to lay my hands on a child, because that's how important a child is. So we have that same mindset as we are raising our kids and pouring into our kids and filling our kids up. Then imagine the tone will set throughout their lives, how they'll make decisions, how they will know their worthiness and value. What else? I talked about this a little yesterday, but as soon as a baby is born, it is recommended to do skin to skin. And the skin to skin is vital throughout that infant's life for them to, an infant can smell that someone is or isn't their mother. That's why they are so picky in regards to who they want to interact with or who they will allow to hold them or touch them, because they are very energetic. I can feel your energy. I can feel your thoughts. Physical touch is the easiest love language to use unconditionally. Y'all, this chapter was just giving me so much. Also, boys and girls alike need physical affection. And for some reason, in this society, we like to think that girls need it more than boys, or that feminine touch, or that physical touch is a feminine trait. And no, whether you have a little girl or a little boy, they need the same amount of physical touch from you. They need that skin to skin. They need the hugs, the kisses, the pats on the back, the shoulder grabs. They need all of that. I should have took notes, but like I said, y'all, I was like, just reading this, I became so emotional because it just all sparked. It's like, it was an aha moment, like, wow. And for a minute there, I started not resent myself, but started like feeling sorry for myself, like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. But it's like, no, you already journeyed through that, and now it's not about what you experienced, but it's about how you are utilizing those experiences to make you a better you. So for me, like I said, I lacked that physical touch or just attention in general from my dad. Like, I saw my dad maybe twice a year. We were mostly spending summers with him, and it wasn't like the only time we would hug will be like when he's dropping me off back home. So I probably had, let's say, 50 hugs from my dad in my lifetime, if that. So imagine being a young girl needing that father figure, because I it's not like I had anyone else within my life. Because even if you don't have a dad, sometimes you have other people that step up, or you have uncles, or you have granddads who are giving you that masculine attention that we need. But I had none of that. So it was just like, it was eye-opening to say, wow, that is why I attracted what I attracted. That is why I experienced what I experienced, due to the lack of my dad being in my life. Like, and it's so crazy because I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I was just asking her questions because I struggle with not knowing who I am. Like, I've never met a granddad. My mom moved to Georgia, so I kind of felt like isolated. Like, I'm not close to anybody on her side. I'm not close to anybody on my dad's side. It was just me, her, and my sisters. So trying to get like more information about like who she was during the marriage, and about the divorce they had, and just how she ended up in Georgia and what that experience was like by herself. Some kind of way we got on the conversation. Yeah? Yeah, is some in the cup? Okay, bring me the cup. And she ended up saying something like, girl, y'all saw y'all dad all the time. And what? And it was just so crazy to me that as a mom, and it's not to diminish what she did, because I know I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for her and the sacrifices that she likes to continue to remind me that she made. But for her to say, like, you saw your dad all the time and I saw my dad once a year over the summer for a few weeks, is nothing compared to a daughter having her father every day of her life, or every other day, or every weekend. Like, so I need all of us as parents to be more intentional about what we say and how we say it, and also ensuring that we are filling our kids' cups in a way that they need it. Of course, that's already transpired, so I won't go into the what ifs and the should haves and the could haves, because it already happened in my life and it has made me who I am. But I do want all of us to be more intentional about, one, being present, and two, being able to caress our children in a loving way, ensuring that we're giving them hugs, ensuring that we are giving them that undivided attention, ensure that we are holding their hands even when we don't feel like they may deserve it, or we may feel like we don't know how to. We need to start practicing and incorporating ways to do that. Then the last thing I wanted to give y'all, it gave an example. Go get the water off the nightstand. Bring the cup. Sit the cup down first. Quentin, y'all was downstairs eating cookies.
Raisins.
Who told y'all to get raisins?
Me.
So this is an exercise if you feel like you don't feel comfortable with touching your kids or don't know where to start. Start with yourself. It says, first take your hand and touch your arm, beginning at your wrist and working slowly up to your shoulder. Give yourself a shoulder rub. Now take the other hand and do the same thing on the other side. Run both hands through your hair, massaging your scalp as you work from front to back. Sit up straight with both feet on the floor and pat your legs with rhythm if you want. Place one hand on your stomach, then lean over and touch your feet and massage your ankles. Sit up and say, there, I did it. I touched myself and I can touch my child. So if you have struggled with, years and years of not being able to either caress yourself or caress your children, it's going to take more than one time practicing this exercise. However, I would suggest incorporating it as a daily practice until you have, worked up the courage to love on your children. Hold it up higher. With physical touch. I also wanted to express that a child whose love language is physical touch will be more filled up from you hugging them, loving on them, and caressing them than you actually telling them that I love you, than you trying to purchase something to give to them. So be mindful of that. So the journal prompt for today is, how can I incorporate physical touch more with my child or children? So as soon as I read this chapter, y'all, I went and hugged my kids. And I already told y'all, I feel like sometimes I am not overcompensating, but like I overindulge in touching them. I'm constantly, I love you. I'm constantly hugging them. I'm constantly kissing them. But I also got a little emotional because my kid's dad isn't present like that. So trying to align with a masculine that will nurture them in that masculine way that I am unable to do. So let me give us a mindful message. It says, edge of greatness. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing me opportunities my way. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing opportunities my way. I don't crumble at the edge of my greatness. I take the opportunities that come and walk through the doors with confidence. So now that, and I hope this resonates with y'all, but I guess this is for me because, like I said, as soon as I read this, y'all, snot just running down everywhere. I'm just like, oh my God, like it all makes sense. Like, and I told y'all, like, my mom. Oh, I didn't even go into that. My mom, I wasn't told I love you. I wasn't given like that physical attention from my parents. But I did not feel love because I always had the necessities. I know that my mom especially showed me her love by providing, by making certain sacrifices. However, when I was physically touched, it was because she was beating my ass. So imagine lacking that loving physical touch and attention and only being touched in a degrading way, in a negative, low vibrational way. That has definitely affected me tremendously. But with this card, I get when the universe is opening up doors for me, bringing me opportunities my way, those can be tangible opportunities and intangible opportunities. So now that we are journeying through these meditative practices and through these accountability lessons and seasons, being able to accept my past and utilizing it to propel me into my future. So this morning I had to clean myself up and say, no, that was you. That is not you. That was you. That is not you. So how can you utilize all of those past experiences to assist you in becoming the best you can be? And right now, the number one thing is being transparent with everyone that tunes in by telling my story and encouraging you and myself to know that your past shouldn't hinder you. Your past shouldn't hinder you. So with me being transparent, it's like, yeah, that was me, but that is not me. I keep saying that. That's the recurring theme today. That was me, but that is not me. So the fact that now I am aware, I can be accountable, and now I have to be intentional about how I choose to move forward with those past experiences. I'm gonna do a let me call this a chakra card. Guess I'll read both. So 2 cards came out. The first one is fertility, Aphrodite. Become attuned to the fertile ground within you. This is giving that sacral plexus energy. Fertility, Aphrodite. Become attuned to the fertile ground within you. Aphrodite is a Greek goddess associated with fertility, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. Connected to the planet Venus, which symbolically rules the heavens as the force of divine love, she embodies all that we seek in the physical form of the mother. Some say that she was born of the seas, rising up from the foam as the beautiful manifestation of water and sensual nature. Like the seashell that births her, there is an undeniable connection and affinity with water. We experienced this energy as babies in utero as we grew and were nurtured in the womb. This miracle of fertility culminates with the physical birth of new life. This process may be repeated in many aspects of our lives, such as when we nurture ideas and creative projects in order to give birth to them in the world. This creative energy lies deep within the sacral chakra, waiting to arise. Message. From the foaming seas rising up like the Venus de Milo, Aphrodite is here to remind you about the power of fertility and creation. She flows through the sacral chakra as an awakening to what is possible when we allow this transformative power of creation to flow. This energy has the ability to change the mundane and ordinary into a new form. To change the mundane, is it mundane? Why does that sound weird to me? Mundane and ordinary into a new form, creating extraordinary possibilities and potential. The great artists, composers, and writers have all harnessed the power of their creative center. This is akin to the fertile nature of the earth, which nourishes seed after seed, year after year, and brings them into bloom. Fertility is present throughout our lives. Whether you are in a stage of childbearing or bringing your ideas to fruition, you're getting the go-ahead to create. When you make this move ahead, look at the time frame of creation and honor the time needed from seed to sowing. I'm going to pause right there. I was watching something. I don't know what the fuck I was watching, but it ended up mentioning, it was like, we expect these microwavable miracles. You plant a seed and you want it to sprout immediately, and that is not how nature works. When you plant that seed or you sow that seed, you have to nurture it, fertilize it, water it. Then you have to give it time to grow. Then you have to give it time to grow. It doesn't happen instantaneously. No, it takes time. So realizing and accepting that we have to have that same mentality when it comes to our dreams and goals, and having faith that it will grow. There's always time needed to nurture and gestate before we give birth. There is always time needed to nurture and gestate before we give birth. What does that mean, Simone? Even the Okay, y'all. There is always time needed to nurture and gestate before we give birth. When you procreate and that fetus or that embryo is in your womb, it takes about 40 weeks for it to fully develop until it's time to give birth. So moving forward, if you ain't put 40 consecutive intentional weeks into your dreams or goals, I don't want to hear that you giving up on it. I don't want to hear that it's not working. I don't want to hear that it is not growing. This creative growth cycle is continuous and never ending if we choose so. Take a look around at what opportunities are presenting themselves to you now and move them forward. Remember to tend and nurture each one and bring your dreams to life. Power statement. I am a creative being in the flow of life. I love that. Because it is so easy for us to seek something, and when it does not flourish in the time frame that we assume that it should, we give up. And then we say, oh, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't grow. Oh, it didn't go. And in reality, you weren't patient. The next one that came out was Butterfly Goddess, Metamorphosis. It says, you are reaching completion on this part of your journey. Prepare to rise higher. The divine butterfly goddess lives in the crown. She is the Shakti of metamorphosis that rises from the base chakra and finds realization and change through her travel upward. In this space of the crown, her process becomes complete. She travels through all the energy centers and all of the experiences. Like the butterfly, she is ready to bloom and fly. Her heart is filled with the lotus of awakening, and through her crown shines the seed of consciousness and ascension. Like the butterfly, each stage is important to her soul's growth and preparation. Come on, come through, divine. I needed that. Like the butterfly, each stage is important to her soul's growth and preparation. Let's use the analogy of the fetus or the embryo again. As soon as you are impregnated, that baby don't have every single organ. No, you have gestation period. So what's the first thing to develop? The beating heart. What's the first thing to develop? The beating heart. And how divine is that we are currently focused on our heart chakra. Then what comes next? You have your heart before you have your brain. You have your heart before you have your brain. Good thanks. Like the butterfly, each stage is important to her soul's growth and preparation. This goddess of light, change, and expansion is surrounded by the infinite light of the universe, which only mimics the light that lives within her. This goddess of light, change, and expansion is surrounded by the infinite light of the universe, which only mimics the light that lives within her. As above, so below. When you become the light, you attract the light. Woo! Her peace is infinite as well. By connecting with this goddess of the crown, we acknowledge our journey and our growth. Message. This card finds you at or near the end of a cycle. The process has been deep and has taken you through many levels of experience and development necessary to arrive at this point. Like the Kundalini rising, the butterfly signifies your own unique journey which had significance and required powerful force for you to get to the end. You may feel ecstatic at reaching this end point, or you may be still in process. Either way, the butterfly goddess asks you to allow yourself to settle into a place of quiet reflection. Look back over the many different challenges, the gifts, and realizations along the way. Has this part of your journey led you to a higher view? Is there a concern about what lies ahead? Rest in the assurance that after each ending, a new beginning will appear. Take the space to wrap up, integrate, and honor this part of your evolution. Affirm. Each step of my evolution brings me towards self-realization. That's for me. Each step of my evolution brings me towards self-realization. We have those. In order to become the light, or in order to become aware of the light within you, or just in general, you had to have been consumed with darkness. I could not see the light until I realized I was in the dark. What other cards do I want to do, y'all? I said I'm going to do a medicine woman. Spirits. Come here. I'm clear. Here. What's the message? What needs to know? Let me tell me. So, tell me what's need to know. We got Bear Totem. Retire into your den to find the answers. Keep getting. Go within. Go within. The answers are within you. Mama Bear. Bear Totem. Retire into your den to find the answers. I am the spirit of the bear. I invite you to retire from the world into your den to take some time alone. I am the time of dreams, hibernation, and rest. Keeper of the western door, the bear retires into his cave to observe a time for dreams. Once regenerated, he feeds and exercises his great power. His clan is one of leaders and healers. His totem is connected to the earth, and he is respected for his strength and power. He is a born leader. In some traditions, the bear is associated with rites of initiation, aiming to awaken to a new state of consciousness. The bear is the ancestor, and as much he is venerated. His message: your inner strength is powerful. Remember, whatever you experience, light always shines in the darkness. Y'all, that is just so crazy that we were just talking about it and then this card came up. Remember, whatever you experience, light always shines in the darkness. Dive into yourself. Guidance. When the bear appears in a reading, it is to invite you to take a break, to escape from the world and dive into your den, your entirety. Doubtlessly, you need some rest to renew your energies. There is no point in running around to try to change a situation or move it forward. A great dream slumbers inside you, and it needs silence to emerge. Something new is trying to become a reality. A time out alone is necessary. During that time, you will receive Earth's great breath of power, and you will be able to summon your natural leadership once more. Honor your need for inner silence, a time of introspection, and find the answers within yourself. Go within. How do we go within? Meditative practices, isolating ourselves, solitude, taking time to separate ourselves from our family, from our friends, from our co-workers, just to sit with ourselves. We discussed this before. It's some people that cannot sit with themselves, and that's a problem. So you need to go within and figure out, why can't I sit with myself? Why do I feel that I always need to be on the phone, or I always need to be out in the streets, or I always need someone within my vicinity? When in actuality, all you need is you. So it's something that you are hiding from, or that you don't have the courage to face, which is why you feel those voids with other people's energies, with other people's presence. Spirit is saying, retire into your den to find the answers. What's next? I don't know what y'all being told. What happening? Okay, I'm gonna do one more tarot. One more oracle. Then I'm gonna do tarot. So I'm gonna do an energy oracle. What's the message? What needs to know? So A Man Holding a Heart came out. Man Holding a Heart. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. This tender man sits with flowers all around, holding a heart in his hand. For a man, this signals a greater clarity about emotions and their purpose in your life. There could be a more balanced approach to family and love at this time, even if these have been confusing experiences for you in the past. For some, this card upright could signal the presence of a new man in your life, one who tends to be more thoughtful and aware. Whether or not this man is a love interest or a friend, he brings a high intention to help where personal projects, family, or home issues are concerned. Affirm. I am comfortable with all of my emotions. I honor and express them in appropriate ways. I feel peace. Y'all, and this just reminds me of how I started in regards to the book, in regards to the 5 love languages of children. Do not negate to pour into your sons the exact same way you are pouring into your daughters. There's nothing feminine about hugging, loving, or speaking life into your sons. So ensure that that is what you're doing today. And on the flip side, if you feel like you are in a relationship with someone who could benefit from more kind words, from more physical touching, attention, ensure that you are incorporating that into your relationship. Dang, I don't even know what that book is. This one's here. What is that? Right in my face. Then I'm gonna do a tarot. Then we can blow this popsicle stand. Greetings, spirits. Right in here. Clear. Alright, clear. This message. What needs to know? Tell me. Tell me what we need to know. So we got 2 cards. The first one is the 3 of Wands, and the second one is the Knight of Cups. Y'all know I'm still learning these cards, so I gotta be having to look at them to see what I get from them. If I'm not mistaken, the 3 of Wands is about like looking on the horizon, seeking something new, going on a new adventure. Then we got the Knight of Cups coming in with some type of offering. Three of Wands, waiting for your ship to come in, good news from afar, reaping the benefits of your work. A good message is coming to you, thinking over your next big move, ready to expand your plans and projects, big successes coming. You have the support of other people. Other people are bringing opportunities to you. See the bigger picture, think big. An opportunity is coming your way. World travel ahead, get ready to go. Let me read this from something else. What book? Energy manifested, waiting for the results of your effort, the arrival of opportunities, finally understanding your ambitious, continuous improvement, and moving in the right direction. Progress. You've been doing the work, light seer, planning, seeing, learning. Watch for the signs that your dream is on the way, because they are everywhere. Take pride in the progress you've made, for your past efforts have created the momentum that you needed to get the ball rolling. Today, you're moving through energy you created in the past, and being here, ready and waiting, is a milestone that you should recognize as a success. While there is still work to be done, know that you're headed in the right direction and that you will see your big waves coming in soon. When they arrive, you may not know exactly how to ride them, but you will be ready to learn. Look for that new relationship, the new client, or that lucky break on the horizon, for the arrival is imminent. Affirm, I am expected and optimistic, and I know that my dream is on the way. I want you to have that same mindset when we sow these seeds. I'm expected and optimistic, and I know that what I'm sowing, I will reap. And then we had the Knight of Cups. These are the two cards. I'm going to read both. I'm going to read what this book say and what that one say. Yeah, I'm about to come down. I'm almost finished. Knight of Cups. Let your heart lead you. Your knight in shining armor arrives. This card may represent a man who is a bit of a dreamer and who is a bit mercurial. Perhaps a Gemini or Virgo. This card represents a romantic person and a chivalrous person. Follow your dreams. Go on a romantic adventure to seek love. You thrive on beauty and follow your passion. Affirm. I follow my heart and seek my deepest dreams. That's that man holding the heart energy coming out. And this one says, a classic romantic, a passionate soul, artistic tendencies, creativity, wearing your heart on your sleeve, seeking connection, being in love with the idea of love and chivalry. This classic romantic invites you to step into a world of roses, bubble baths, and champagne, and is fully devoted to you today. And is fully devoted to you for today, and maybe for every day. This card heralds romance and embodies the graceful movement of a slow dance. Enjoy this flirtation and be present to connect. This knight is intuitive and totally in touch with his emotions. As such, he knows what he wants and he has no problem wearing his heart on his sleeve. This card often signifies someone who is in love with the idea of love itself. And sometimes this comes bundled with unrealistic expectations. Are you ready to be swept off your feet and to allow deep honesty and vulnerability to flow freely in your life? Do you believe in this type of true love? Get ready to take inspiration and run with it, to make art, music, and love in a veritable masterpiece of life. Affirm, I'm in touch with my emotions. This came out giving me that, we pulled that sacral, that's fertility, that sacral card. So being able to that sacral plexus energy, creativity. We know that your passion and what you are able to create is tied to your sex organs, your reproductive organs. Somebody could have a man coming in that's about to woo you, woo. Okay, so So we start off with that mindful message. Edge of greatness. The universe is opening doors for me, bringing opportunities my way. I don't crumble at the edge of my greatness. I take the opportunities that come and walk through the doors with confidence. Whatever opportunity that God is about to align you with, even if you do not feel like your resume is adequate enough, your experience is adequate enough, or you may be lacking education, God is going to open that door for you, and he is going to give you all of the knowledge that you need to succeed in whatever is coming your way. In order for you to accept this new position, you have to be able to go within and know who you are and whose you are, for you to know your worthiness, for you to align with your courageousness, to know that you deserve that opportunity. You deserve that relationship. You deserve unconditional love. And my last message is, again, y'all, when we are sowing these seeds, please stop seeking microwavable dreams where you can just open up the microwave, put it in there, hit a button, 30 seconds, 1 or 2 minutes, and then it's ready. No, our dreams are so big that it's going to take time for them to develop, to grow. And then it takes stages. Before we see the sprout of the seed that we planted, the roots embed themselves in the soil. So the roots grow before we even see what's coming above ground, before we even know what fruit is going to bloom from this plant. I hope this message added value. I am Simone the Shepherdess, and I was taught that when you get, you give. When you learn, you teach. I'm here to preach, and y'all finna get this word. Have a transformational Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.